Hello, and welcome to another episode of Battle Ready,
Ready.
where today it's all about models.
All about them.
All about models. Specifically, we've talked before about different kinds of models, but I think one thing we haven't really touched on is units.
Yes.
Because usually when we're talking about our best models, we often talk about the big ones, like Kragnos or Croak or Nagash, or even if they're not heroes, like the Knight. The Black Coach. That's what it's called.
So good.
And a lot of them are really cool, but that's not really what Warhammer, or at least Age of Sigmar, is really made up of, right? Mostly they're made up of units.
Yeah.
And there are heroes that guide them, or maybe war machines that help. And those can be really cool.
Yeah.
Right? But today I thought we would talk about units. What are the coolest looking units in the game?
Not bestest.
Not rules-wise, because rules change, right? But what are the coolest looking models? One thing I wanted to say up front, though, is we're only going to touch on a couple, I think, maybe per Grand Alliance. But really, almost all of AoS looks fantastic. And I think everything from second edition forward looks really good.
Yeah.
There's not any, some look better than others for sure, but none where you look at it and you're like, okay, well, that's terrible. That's garbage. And then even some things from before that time, I think still look good. And I would pick the Skinks. They're from before AoS.
Before times.
From the long, long ago. But I think they still hold up pretty good. I think they still look good, right? And even when we've seen Skinks, like, I think the Salamander has little skink boys that follow him or whatever.
The Stolodon.
The Stolodon's from before AoS. But I'm saying new AoS Skinks, even though we don't have a unit of Skinks, we've seen them on other things. And they don't look that different. Right? It's not a big difference. So just because it's before AoS doesn't mean it's bad. And I think basically everything after AoS is good. But what is the best? So let's take it Grand Alliance by Grand Alliance and pick one or two that we think are just phenomenal. And let's start with Destruction.
They're the best.
They're the best. All right, well, we're going to start it off with the best.
Yep.
What do you think, unit-wise? No heroes, no single models, no war machines. Unit. What makes the best? Has to be at least 5 in the unit.
Elements most for cavalry.
No, a lot of cavalry is 5.
Pigs.
I guess pigs 3. Okay.
More big knights.
So in that case, maybe 3. We'll say 3 is the minimum. All right. So what is the best unit that you think looks the best out of Destruction?
Brutes.
Really? You think Brutes?
Best.
Why do you think Brutes?
Because, I've built 15 of them, and there's so many different ways you can build them.
Okay.
And I just get to have fun putting all the little decorations and bits on them, and they look so good when you're done with them.
That's cool. Yeah, I think there is a lot of variety, for sure. I would not have picked Brutes.
What would you have picked, then?
Well, my first pick would certainly be a Squig Herd.
Okay.
And I love Squig Herd because the models are so characterful.
Yeah.
And so you get this... I think they really feel like Gloomspite because they're basically equal parts funny and horrific. Yeah. And that's sort of what Gloomspite is, right? It's a little bit of goofiness with a little bit of like, oh my gosh, that's disgusting. And I think Squig Herd, more than other Squigs, Squig Herd, I think really captures that essence. And when I see them all, especially a reinforced unit of herds with little guys following them around with symbols and stuff, I think that is so cool. That's probably my number 1. Let's give a runner-up. If you have to give a runner-up, what would your runner-up be?
Bounders.
Oh my gosh, you're a crazy person. You're picking ones that I do not even, they're not even on my list. All right, why Bounders?
Because they look like Squig Hoppers, which I put at 3rd, but they look cooler because they have some ramshackle armor plates and they look a bit more refined, like they know what they're doing.
You said Hoppers or you said Bounders?
Bounders.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely like the elite, right? The elite ones. That's cool. Both of your picks, I feel like are good models, right? They're not bad. But I feel like they're, I don't know, a little... Well, there's more detail in the Brutes, but I feel like the Bounders sort of they all sort of look the same from far away.
Not at all.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, if I had to pick a runner-up, I think I would pick the Gut Rippers.
Okay, fair.
I think the Gut Rippers are really cool looking. I love the way that they look. Now their rules are not always great, and I think that it's weird that these like sneaky swamp orcs have a unit that's a massed infantry unit. Should that really be how they play? I don't know, but that's a separate thing. I think the models when they're on the battlefield, I think they just look cool. I like their signs that are made from skins and stuff. I just think they're really cool. All right, that hits us for destruction. What do we want to do next? Death. All right, coolest unit in Death.
Morbeg Knights.
Morbeg Knights are pretty cool. Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. Like when you had Boing Grunt Bounders on there, I was like, I don't know if you're playing the game right. But now that you've said Morbeg Knights, now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we're
on the same page.
We're on the same page. Yeah, I think those are pretty cool. I think a lot of Flesh Eaters in general look pretty cool, and the Morbeg Knights in particular are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
pretty awesome. If I had to pick, I would pick Barrow Guard.
Okay.
I think the Barrow Guard. So they're pretty new, right? I guess Morbeg Knights are too.
Yeah,
right?
Morbeg Knights
they're pretty new, but I just think there's the elite skeleton warrior. I think is super cool. I like their different poses, and they've got some movement to them. I think in all of Death, I would pick them as the unit that I like the most. All right, what about a runner-up? Let's pick a runner-up.
Blade Geists.
You know what? I had Blade Geists on my short list. I didn't pick them. I don't think they're my honorable mention, but they're very cool. And I like them probably, let's take Chain Ghasts out, but of all the elite Night Hunt stuff, I probably like them the best. I think
Chain Ghasts look stupid.
Yeah, I don't like them so much. I think they're way better than Harridans.
Yeah, all Harridans are pretty cool.
Harridans are fine. They're fine. But I like that Blade Geists are every model is unique.
Yeah.
Right? So this one's swooping this way. This one's rearing up. This one's swooping that way. And it looks like just a big tangle of ghosts and blades.
And sometimes they do tangle.
Which is supposed to be, well, that's true. But that's supposed to be what they are, right? And so it's very evocative. I like that for them. If I had to pick an honorable mention for Death, I don't know. What would I pick for Death? Honorable mention.
Just give it to Morbeg Knights.
I'm trying not to pick yours because Morbeg Knights is good. I mean, if I had to pick a second one, I might pick that. Yeah, I don't know that I have.
No,
I know what it is.
What is it?
We just don't have very many.
What?
It's Blood Knights. The Vampire Knights.
Oh, I think it would look stupid.
The Vampire Knights? The new Vampire Knights?
I think it would look stupid.
No, you're wrong. Now you're on video being wrong. No, I think they're really cool. I think they're very imposing, and I think that they have a good intimidation factor. Now, I think rules-wise, I don't like them that much.
Yep.
Right? So that's why we don't have very many. So I'm not interested in getting a lot, but I'm setting that aside, and I'm saying model-wise, I really like the models.
Yeah.
All right. Let's turn to Chaos. Now, Chaos is not a small... Death and Destruction are both smallish alliances. There's a lot in Chaos.
I think it's the second largest one.
Yeah, I think Order's probably got the most. But Chaos is big too. Chaos is no slouch. So when you look at all the Chaos armies, that's 5 Chaos Gods, if you include Skaven.
We do now.
Undefined and Hellsmiths. So that's 7.
Plus Dark Oath.
That's part of Slaves. I know, they look very different for sure. All right, so you put all that together. What has the coolest infantry?
Chosen.
Oh yeah, Chosen's on my short list. Chosen's cool. I do like Chosen because the regular warriors, the Chaos Warriors, in the lore anyway, they're supposed to be these, only 1 in 10,000 can crawl up the mountain, and then only 1 in 1,000 of those becomes a Chaos Warrior. It's something like that. I can't remember exactly.
There's hundreds of thousands of them,
but there's a lot of them. But because they all sort of look very similar, it's like, okay, I guess they're really elite.
Yeah,
I guess. But in contrast to that, I think the Chosen do a much better job of expressing characters that they've gone on the path to glory, and they really have, had the blessings of the dark gods upon them. They're a little bit bigger. They look a little bit stronger. They're a little bit more imposing, and they do it. They each sort of do it individually. Whereas I do think the warriors look good masked.
Yeah.
But any one or two of them, it's actually pretty sad when you've got your 20 pack out there, and then it gets killed and killed and killed, and a couple turns later you've got like 4 guys left.
Yep.
Like, that is a sad looking unit.
Yep.
Whereas I think Chosen pretty much always look good down to the last man. All right, yeah, Chosen are pretty good. I think for me, again, and I am going strictly based on model, right? Is I really like Carrick acolytes.
Oh,
I really like them.
Oh, really?
I think they are super cool. I like that because they're supposed to be magically enhanced, so they all look like little buff dudes, right? But they're doing different stuff, and they can be built in different ways. And they've got the Scream Bird. I like Carrick acolytes a lot. I think that would be my. You don't like them?
Nah.
All right.
Maybe I've seen too many of them and had to kill too many of them. But
yeah, you're like, those are worthless. I've destroyed them, even though they're supposed to be Zangors most of our games. All right, honorable mention.
We don't have any of these, but I like the Cornet Berserkers a lot. I don't know if that's their exact name, but the corn guys, the like normal corn guy.
Okay,
guys, I like them a lot.
I don't know that I even can picture what they look like.
I can mostly just because I play Total War.
Okay, I guess I'll trust you on that one. Although I have to say, if I can't even picture the model, I don't know that it's that good.
To be fair, Corn hasn't seen a model update in.
Well, the first starter in AoS.
Yes, but I mean since then.
There's been some, but yeah, there's not having been any big refreshes for sure. All right, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I've got 2 honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is Chaos Knights.
Fair.
I like Chaos Knights a lot. Second honorable mention is I really like. Oh shoot! Oh, I remember Storm Vermin.
Yeah,
I like Storm Vermin a lot. I like a lot of the Ratmen. I think Ratmen in general look pretty cool. Although most of what we have is Scryer.
Yep.
And
because that's obviously the best one. You get rats with guns.
Well, it came in the starter set, right? And I think a lot of the Scryer ones they're hiding behind stuff, and so they don't have that cool imposing factor, right? Whereas Storm Vermin, I think, look really good arrayed out, and I like the lore of them. That they're still Ratmen.
Yep.
So they're not. I mean, if we still had bravery, it would still be probably pretty low. But
it'd be 5 instead of 4.
Exactly, it'd be a little bit braver. But also, they're supposed to be the elite warriors, so they have a little bit of armor. They have a little bit better weapons. And suddenly you look at the Storm Vermin and you're like, oh, that's Ratmen if they were real soldiers, not just
slaves,
not just throw hordes of bodies, right? And I really like that. One thing I was sort of
actually no, it's not Corn Berserkers.
Oh, what is it?
The all demon flies for Nurgle.
Oh, the
rot flies.
Rot fly. Oh, what are they called though?
Plague something or others.
Plague drones.
Plague drones.
You like plague drones?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like them better than the normal fly guys.
You like them better than the human ones?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you say that?
Because I feel like the human ones are just dudes sitting there, whereas the plague bearers flying on the plague drones have like their arms lifted up or holding a death's head.
Yeah, I mean, I like them. I think they're fine. I'm not a huge fan of plague bearers in general.
Why do you have 40
They're
of
fine.
them?
They're fine. They're fine.
You have 40 of them.
I have a lot of plague bearers. But they're fine. And one day they'll get refreshed and maybe it'll be awesome.
Yep.
But that's interesting. I like if I'm looking at just the fly, I like the Blight Lord. What is it? Pasquale Blight Lord fly better. Because it's more like bulbous, pustule filled, I guess. But no, they're good. One thing I was going to say is, you know who just had a model refresh though?
Who?
Nurgle.
Oh yeah.
In Chaos.
And we've just shuffled them off.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, The new Blight Lords are okay. The new Rot Swords are cool. I mean, they're cool, but I don't think they really got to the highest highs.
Yeah.
Right.
Those vaulted peaks.
Oh, you know what? I don't like the Pestigores either. They're too
Beastmen.
Blubby. But then again, I don't like Beastmen a lot. I mean, that's why I always use Acolytes instead of Zangors.
Yep.
I just don't like Beastmen that much. All right, that takes us to the largest Grand Alliance, and that is Order. A lot to pick from in Order.
This is true.
All right, what's your pick for coolest looking unit?
Thunderers.
Wow.
100% Thunderers.
Wow. That's so out of left. I would never have thought that. I would never have picked that. I mean, I agree they look cool. But coolest in all of Order?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you like the Thunderers?
Because A, they all have different guns, which is awesome. And B, one's aiming, one's trying to reload, one's got a shotgun. Cool.
Well, I guess. I mean, they all have different weapons. That is nice. And I like the Caradron look, sure. But my pick is going to blow them out of the water.
What?
Agrodons. Yes, Agrodons look a million times cooler. They are, in fact, the coolest unit, coolest looking unit in all of Order. You've got big lizards being ridden by slightly smaller, but still quite big lizards.
No.
And they come in threes, so you can mass them up to 6. They've got their plumage and stuff, their decorations. Oh my gosh, they look so cool. They do such a good job of being both savage and looking like, okay, these are people that have taken some care in their mounts. I think they look amazing. That's my favorite. All right, what's your honorable mention?
It's going to be Caradron again, the Vorgrim Harpooners.
I like them, for sure. The sort of mini balloon boys, right? Instead of having the
3 balloon boys.
The
Sky Wardens
or Innernickers that have the balloon above them. These guys sort of have it attached to their back. And they do look like they have a lot more movement.
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool. I think it's probably one of the units where you can see the most movement in models. They do look really, really good. If I had to pick an honorable mention, I'm tempted to pick Prosecutors from Stormcast. I think they look pretty. The new Prosecutors.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, the new ones. I think they look pretty good. I like that quasi sort of Greek-inspired helmet design that they have. Stuff like that is pretty cool. But if I had to pick a unit,
come to the Caradron side.
No, you've already Caradroned up. There's hardly any units left to pick. You pick them all.
There's 4.
You know, I think I will just say the Prosecutors. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm having a hard time picking another one that I like as much. And it's a little bit sad because Prosecutors in game are actually not that good.
Oh no, none of the new stuff is except for Liberators.
Yeah, and they're a refresh, right? So
nothing new is good.
So it's a shame that the Prosecutors don't have great rules, and it makes me not want to bring them that much. But their models are pretty cool. I like the way that the wings are like wingy but fiery at the same time. I like the quasi-Greek inspiration that they have in their armor. I like that they're now the slimmed down cool warriors and not the big fat cast.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I like a lot of that. Ogre cast. That's what the weather reports, Ogre cast. Well, I think that sums it up. Now, obviously, lots more cool units.
Yep.
Right? There's lots of cool stuff out there. This is not the end-all, be-all list. And in fact, I am super interested to know. Please comment and let me know, and I'll respond. What is your favorite? Whether you want to go Grand Alliance by Grand Alliance or just pick your absolute favorite. And there's a bunch. Oh, you know what else I like? Well, I might even like it more than Carrick Acolytes now that I'm thinking about it. Is the Slick Blades from Slaanesh. I think those Slick Blades.
I like them more than Carrick Acolytes for sure.
All right, well, at least we can agree on that. But tell us in the comments below what you think. What are your favorites? And even better, what makes a good unit? What makes it look good to you?
Guns.
Guns?
Yep.
That's why you picked Gary.
Yep.
All right, well, this has been another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
Thanks so much for watching.